Yes, it's almost 2024. 3, 2, 1. Yes, it's finally 2024. I can finally stop thinking about pixels every day for maybe 2 months, and I can start working on this year's show. But whatever, get in there. Finally! Yes, so that's right, it's finally 2024, and I could finally stop thinking about pixels for about 3 or 4 months, then I have to start working on this year's show. Thank you everyone for watching How to Pixel today, and this video is going to be a bit of a reflection type video of everything that happened in 2023 and my upcoming plans for the channel for this year. And then there's also going to be a Q&A at the end of the video. So this isn't going to be a normal tutorial video. If you came here looking to learn something new, you're probably not going to learn anything other than how annoyed I was with this year's light show and tons of problems I had and how happy I am that it's finally over. So the very first thing I want to say is thank you everyone for 5,000 subscribers. I know I'm really late to this. Usually I make a post about it, but I wanted to talk about it in the video because 5,000 is such a huge number. On January 2nd, or it might have been January 1st, one of those days, we hit 5,000 subscribers, so thank you everyone for watching the videos. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about, and thank everyone for that. Now let's reflect on the 2023 shows. Now, for those of you that don't know or who are new to the channel, I do have my own light show too. I used to post videos of it on this channel, but I moved it to another channel separately just for my light show. It's called Bridgeport's Brightest Lights, and you can find videos of all of the year's Halloween and Christmas light shows there. You'll notice this year that I barely posted any videos for the Halloween or Christmas light show. Usually I have a lot of videos for each one, and I post some of the individual songs and then a full video of the whole light show. And this year for Christmas, I think I only got one video out, and then one trailer, and then for the Halloween light show, I think 2 videos and a trailer, I don't remember. And the one and only video I posted about the Christmas light show got taken down and had to re-upload it, partially muted, because YouTube copyright system sucks. If I include over 4 copyright songs in a video, they'll block it from every country possible, and then say, yeah, you can't post this. So usually what I do is upload the video with either part of it or most of it muted, and I include a link to where you can watch it not muted on Google Drive, and you can find the unmuted video in the description of those videos. And that's also one of the reasons I stopped posting the videos here, because I didn't want to get in any trouble and get this channel deleted for some reason if YouTube got sick and tired of me uploading tons of copyright videos. But I only have the full Christmas light show up, no other individual songs for it, and the reason why is because I procrastinated a lot this year trying to put the light show together, and I was so behind on everything. That's why I barely posted any videos. The Halloween light show was good. I got it up in time, got all the sequences done, and I recorded some of that. I think I got the full light show and then one song separately. I can't remember exactly. And our Halloween light show went good. The fog machine was awesome. I'm definitely going to keep it for Halloween light shows coming up. But then the Christmas light show, I didn't finish all of the sequences until 2 or 3 days before the light show started. Every year, I want to make the sequences better and better and make them look cooler and cooler, which means more time I spend on each song, and I didn't think to give myself enough time. Usually I start programming in May or June, around there, and I won't program every day. I'll just maybe once or twice a week start programming songs, and then as it gets later into the year, I'll start programming every single day, getting the light show ready. But this year I didn't give myself enough time, so I was scrambling trying to program the last Christmas sequences while the Halloween light show was running, and I barely got it up in time before the Christmas light show. One of the reasons this happened was I was trying to find a good grand finale song. I always like to have a cool song to end the light show with. In 2021, I ended it with Bang by AJR. In 2022, I ended it with the song Believe by the Polar Express. And last year, it was a little bit more of a calmer ending, so I wanted to go back to an upbeat ending, but I couldn't find any good songs. But then I heard X Lights Around the World was doing Shut Up and Dance for one of their songs, so I thought that'd be an awesome song to end with. It's not really a grand finale song, but it's a cool upbeat song I could end the show with. My plan was to use the sequences that they make, that way I could program one last song and not be programming while the light show was starting. Well, they never posted the sequences ahead of time, and it came out, I think, just days before my light show started. I started on Black Friday. So I had to also program Shut Up and Dance on top of the other songs I was scrambling to program with weeks before the Christmas light show. In the end, I got all of the songs done 2 or 3 days right before the light show started, but I never got to record it. Usually I record the light show before it starts. That way there's no cars trying to come by and watch it and block the camera view. But I never got to since I finished the sequences so late. So I had to wait until 11 o'clock at night when the light show ended and everyone thought it was done, turn it back on, stand across the road, and record it. I was just so sick and tired of programming and being locked in my room, just typing away on the computer, that I didn't put any effort into making any other videos other than the main angle from the front of the display, and that's why that's the only Christmas light show video I posted. But the Christmas light show also did great. Everyone loved it. And if you've seen in some of my other videos, we do a food drive for every Christmas light show, and we donate all the food and any cash donations to the Bridgeport Food Pantry, which is a food pantry local to us. We got a lot of food, and I think over $300 in donations we were able to donate to them. So that was awesome. And that's really everything that happened with the 2023 light show. For anyone that wonders when I start working on or buying stuff or setting up the light show, I'll start buying stuff for the next year's light show, usually in February or March. It depends on what the pixel prices are like and other things, like if I need to buy the DMX bracelets that are in the light show, I have to buy those at a certain time. I might not be buying any this year because we didn't even sell all last year's, so I might just reuse those. But usually I'll start buying pixels at the very beginning of the year, like February or March. And then other things like pixel props or wire or power supplies or any of that, I'll start buying later in the year, like April, May, June. Usually I like to have my final orders placed no later than the end of July, so that way everything gets here in time for the Halloween or Christmas light show, whatever it's for. For sequencing, like I said, I usually start around April, May. Sometimes I'll put the new display layout together way earlier in the year, that way I know what I'm buying, but I won't start programming it till later. And even though the Halloween light show comes first, I start programming the Christmas light show, then I'll take a break and do the Halloween light show, then I'll finish programming the Christmas light show. Setting up for the Halloween light show, usually I will start doing that at the very end of August or beginning of September. The Halloween light show runs for the last 2 weeks of October. And I just like to have the lights up early enough so I can do testing, make sure everything works. So my dad and I will go outside, start hooking everything up. Usually I can do all the stuff that's on the ground and I'll put out the controllers. But anything that's on the roof, he usually does that for me. Most of the stuff besides the roof outline needs sandbags, so it's really hard to get the sandbags up there. You have to have a person on the ground lifting them up to the person up there. And then for the Christmas light show, the second the Halloween light show ends, we'll begin putting up the Christmas light show stuff. Most of the Halloween stuff stays up because I just programmed the lights to be Christmas colors, with the only exception being the fog machine. I'll take that down. And then we'll begin putting the Christmas light show together as fast as we can, since usually there's only 3 or 4 weeks until the Christmas light show starts after Halloween. Sometimes we'll even put some of the Christmas light show stuff up during the Halloween show, just not turn it on. And then I'll begin testing the Christmas light show once it's up, recording it if I didn't procrastinate. And that's usually the schedule of how I do everything throughout the year. Right now, though, I'm in my Pixel Light Show break time. I don't want to think about Pixel Lights, even though I'm going to be making videos about them still. I just don't want to think about displays, putting any of that together until 2 or 3 months later. So that's the reflection part of the video and everything that happened in 2023. And now I'm going to get on to what I hope to do in 2024. First off, with plans for this year's light show, our Christmas light display is starting to get very big that we're running out of room to put in new props. So this year I really want to focus on expanding the Halloween light show, maybe adding some more Halloween props like spiders, tombstones, all that cool stuff that you see in Halloween displays. As for what I'm going to add to the Christmas light show, I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to put in it. There's not a lot of room left in the yard. I was thinking about maybe getting more peace sticks for the back half of the front yard, but putting the peace sticks up are already annoying enough and I don't want to add tons more to do. So I'm not really sure yet what I'm planning on doing for the Christmas light show or really what exactly I'm adding to the Halloween light show. And I don't want to think about it until that time comes. And when I say that time comes, that's basically only like 2 months away. As for my plan for the How To Pixel channel, usually I will take like a 2 or 3 month break once the Christmas season ends. And I did that last year, I think in 2021. But this year I don't want to do that. And I have a New Year's resolution, and it's to get a more consistent upload schedule and try throughout the whole year to upload at least every other week. I can't do every week because I can't pump out videos that fast. So my goal is at least every other week to upload a video and not fall behind that until the end of this year. So far, with this being the second video in, I've been successfully following that schedule. I have not missed an every other week upload, but that is my goal for this year. Sometimes I might upload every week, sometimes it might fall back down to every other week, but my only goal is to upload at least every other week. As for videos to expect, far down into the future, I don't know what to expect. It depends on usually what I add into the light show. But right now, for the upcoming weeks, I have a lot of videos planned already. After this, I have a video about taking down my Christmas light display. I have that all recorded. I recorded it as I took down the Christmas light display. January 2nd, I went outside and I tore down everything. Got almost the whole light show down in one day. I wanted it down. I didn't want to think about it. I was so annoyed after being stressed and procrastinating and everything I did last year. So I just wanted the whole light show down. But I recorded the whole process of how I take down everything, and I'm also going to record how I store everything in the garage and also our shed and where we put everything, because this light show you can't just cram into one little box. There's a lot of pieces to it. So in that video, I'm hoping to show and answer everyone's questions on how do I store this, where do I put everything. So that's the next video I have planned. After that, I have 2 other videos planned. I have a networking video I want to make, talking about how you connect all the networks, set up the IP addresses, gateways, all of those names you've heard, routers, network switches, how you hook them all together to make the light show pieces communicate. And then after that video, I want to make a video about the new differential receivers, the SRX 1, 2, and 4, and talk about how all of those work, how you can set them up. So those are the videos I have planned upcoming now. I think there's also been some comments on other videos people want me to make. I have those all saved onto a file. I have a whole list of video ideas, but other ones I don't want to talk about yet. Save them for a surprise. And let's see, I reflected on 2023. I talked about what's coming up in 2024. Is there anything I'm missing? Oh, something else I did want to talk about. I've recently been more interested into looking at how an individual pixel works. Like, I know how it works. You send it data, you send it power, and then it has a microchip and it somehow magically lights up. But I want to know, what are the actual pieces inside and what do they do? Why are they there? How is everything connected? So for the past week, I've been dissecting a pixel. I took off the entire plastic coating. I don't know what it is. It's what keeps it waterproof. I've taken off all of that, and I've also taken off the microchip. Let me see if I can get that to focus. It appears it will not focus for me, so I'll just show a picture of it. But I've taken off the microchip because I wanted to see where all of the little wire connections, or not really wire connections, whatever's on the PCB board, where it all goes. And I've learned a lot about how these resistors are hooked up. There's a capacitor in here, and how everything works in a pixel. Now, the main reason I wanted to do this was, well, it'd be cool to know how a pixel works. Maybe I could even build my own now that I know how the pieces work. But the main reason was, for months, I've had an idea for a new type of pixel. I don't really want to talk about it all the way, because I don't want someone to steal my idea. But I had an idea for a pixel design that would make doing certain things with them a lot easier. I haven't seen it online. I've never seen anyone make it. So I wanted to figure out how I could make this pixel design. But I have absolutely no idea where to start. So I thought maybe if I dissect the pixel first, I could figure out how everything works and how I'd make my design if I ever was to make it. So now I know how the PCB works, and I know of a website where I can order the PCB, I can make it myself, but I have no idea how I do any of the other parts. I don't have a 3D printer, I don't have anything like that. I don't know how I'd make the actual design. I have 3D models of it on a website, but I don't know where to go from here. So if anyone has any tips on if you had like a prototype for a project where you could start with it or where you could go, I'd love to hear them. Maybe websites that will help me design it. I really don't know where to go. I don't know if this will ever become something, just something interesting I thought about talking about. So it's funny, even though I said I don't want to think about pixels or light displays for months, I'm dissecting a pixel and currently figuring out how to make a new one. But yeah, that's a project I'm working on, and that I've now reflected. I've talked about 2024, talked about my pixel. I think all that's left is the Q&A part of the video. So I made a post talking about that I wanted to do a Q&A in this video, but there was only 2 questions on it. The first one that was on the actual Q&A post is, how old am I? I am 16. Yes, a lot of people think that's crazy. They're like, how did you get into doing light shows at 16? And if I've been doing them since 2020, if you do the math, I was 12 when I started doing light shows. That kind of leads into the next question though. How did you get into making Christmas light displays? I don't know if that's exactly how it worded, but that's what the question is. And this is a semi-long story that I'll try and condense. Basically, there was a light show kind of local to me. It was about 30 minutes away. It was called Lights on Jacob Lane, and they had a huge Christmas light display. And I've been going to it since 2015. My parents took me there. We'd watch the light show in our car, drive up it. They had their own radio station, and every year the light show got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then in 2019, I think, they were on the Great Christmas Light Fight, and they had over 20,000 lights, something like that. They had a whole ball drop because they wanted their display to look like New York City on New Year's Eve. They had a whole castle, and it was crazy. But at this point, I was only 12 years old, and I went to my dad, and I'm like, I want to build something like this. Can we do this year for Christmas? Now, this was at the beginning of December, and I had no experiences with light shows, and I wanted to put something together to run that Christmas. I wanted it ready for Christmas Eve so we could watch the display. Well, I had absolutely no idea how any of this works. I had no idea about pixels, so I decided to go and buy some Christmas lights from Walmart, regular lights that you just plug in, and then figure out how I could program those. But I had no idea, how did Lights on Jacob Lane make each individual light be programmable? How can you do that with regular Christmas lights? Well, you can't. I didn't know about pixels then. So my goal was just to find a way that I can make the strand turn on and off, and I had 6 different sections I wanted to turn on and off with just regular Christmas lights. They could sync to one song, and I wanted the song to be Sarajevo. So there it was. My goal was to make those lights flash, but I had no idea how to do that. I did know a lot about computer parts though, and I had an Arduino Uno. For those of you that don't know what this board is, it's basically like a little tiny controller. You can control buzzers, lights, a lot of other advanced stuff. They're not specifically made for running light shows, but this was the only controlling device I had at the time, and I was wondering if I could program this to control the lights. Well, I was looking up stuff, and I thought about using transistors, but I didn't know exactly how I was going to do that. And then I heard these things called relays. This is a board of relays. There are 8 relays on here. If you don't know what this does, you can basically send it a low voltage signal from like an Arduino Uno that runs on 5 volts DC, and then if you send it a signal to the certain relay, it will switch it, and you can plug in a higher voltage, like 120 volts, into here, and then you can flip on and off what you have plugged in here. So I thought I could plug in all the strands of lights in here. I only had 6 sections, or maybe I had 7, I can't remember, so I didn't use this whole thing, but I thought I could program the Arduino to flip on and off each relay when I wanted it to. I had been programming with Arduino for a couple years then. I knew how to use it, and still, I'm only 12 years old at this point. But I got this, and then I started programming it. The only thing was, I didn't know how I was going to get the music to work. So there's this other program I use called Scratch. It's like a very beginner coding thing. You can use blocks and code. It was a whole long story. I don't even remember how it was set up. I used a Makey board, which is another beginner board. You can use it to act as a keyboard for your computer. I don't remember how I hooked it all up. All I know was I coded the Arduino, and I don't know if there's an easier way, but the code was so long for one song because it said turn relay 1 on and then delay however many seconds, turn this relay on however many seconds, turn it off. The code was so long that I printed it on paper, and it took 13 pages of paper. I ran it down our hallway and took a picture of how long it was. I'll show the code on the screen. But the light show ended up failing because I couldn't get the music to be in sync. I didn't know how to make an Arduino run music. What I had it do was send a signal to the Makey board, which then pushed the spacebar on my computer to play the song from the computer while the Arduino was flashing the lights. It was a mess. It barely worked. I do have a video of it. You can see the video on this channel and on the Bridgeport Bright Lights channel. I recorded it with my tablet, and it had like a 240p resolution. But I'm digressing a lot. The question was, how did I get into light shows? It was because of Lights on Jacob Lane, and I thought it was so cool. I tried to do it myself. 2019 was the first year of the show that didn't work. It failed. And then in 2020, I learned about pixels, X lights, all that. And then in 2020, I had the first successful Christmas light show. And Greg Brewster, the guy that runs Lights on Jacob Lane, the light show had to shut down because they got way too popular. They had a small neighborhood. They couldn't fit all the traffic in their neighborhood. He is such a super nice guy, and he helped me set up my first light show. He now has a whole commercial display. But that is how I got into doing Christmas light shows. So that is going to conclude it for this reflection / Q&A / future / upcoming project video. I'm so used to saying this, and even though this isn't a tutorial video, I'm still going to say it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the description below. In the description, what? If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try to respond as soon as I can. Stay tuned for the next video where I tear down the entire light show and you can see how I store it. But thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.